Good morning. We are today in Pfleiderer, Grajewo, and my guest is the president of the group, Michael Wolff. Welcome. Mr. President, tell us, how did you get involved into the business and in which areas did you enhance your competences?
Yeah, I'm an engineer, a German engineer. I have a diploma in engineering and economics. I worked in several industries, like in the sanitary industry for Pfleiderer and Boch, in the lands business for Rodenstock, even in the fishing tackle industry. The company was called DAM, Deutsche Angelgerätemanufaktur. And of course at Pfleiderer, but I was always responsible overall as general manager, focusing on strategic planning, restructuring, growth and execution on measures.
In Pfleiderer, Grajewo, you have been for 12 years. For many years as a supervisory board member and for 2 years as a president of the board. How did Grajewo transform over those years?
Yeah, these were quite interesting years at Pfleiderer, the last 12 years, and I think we can put that in 3 sectors or periods. One period was a very fast growth period. That was 2004, 2008. The company have been growing by globalization. We moved into North America. We entered into Russia. We acquired a company in Sweden. So company has growing from 700 million to 1.8 billion. But however, due to the worldwide crisis, which affected also Pfleiderer quite heavily, we had to restructuring the company, and that was the period 2009, 2010 till 2012. At that time, we restructured the company focusing on Europe, and that's where we are today. This company is in a very good shape. We are focusing on that part here in Europe and being now a leader. And this is the third part, and the third part of that period is now the growth part again, because company is restructured in a very good shape and we are looking forward for further growth.
So which of the company's history's event do you find as a milestones?
The first milestone was happened 1894, because that was the time when the company has been founded. So that means we have almost 120 years and longer period and experience in that company. We all the time worked with somehow with wood together, and this is the core basis and the core, let's say, knowledge the company has. And 1960, in the 16, we constructed the first chipboard plant. Then somewhere in the middle of the 90s, we built the first MDF plant. So those steps are where a normal, let's say, development of our company and very important. But beside that, we always also acquired company to grow further up. That was happening in Germany, but as you know, also in the 90s, we acquired that plant here in Würzburg. We acquired Grajewo. So it was, let's say, a general development of the group over a long period of time, and always focused on wood and panels.
Please comment on your plan of internal restructuring of Grajewo Capital Group here in Poland.
Yeah, as you know, we did a re-IPO of the group to integrating the company into one, because out of the past strategy, we had 2 different business centers in place. But after we decided to focusing on Europe, it doesn't make sense for us to keep those organizations ongoing. So therefore we said we want to integrating our company into one. And the way how we did it was this re-IPO, which brought now Pfleiderer Grajewo into a very dominant position. So that means we are on a way to merging these organizations into one, and that will generate about 30 million of synergies for the company, and especially then also for the benefit of our shareholders. What does it mean? It means that we have so far twice double functions. Yeah, in the organization we have twice controlling, we have the bookkeeping double, we have 2 different organizations in purchasing and that all based so far on different processes. So what we are doing now is we are merging the organization into one functional organization based on one integrated processes, based on one SAP solution, and of course in the future also with one collection. Because the program which we are producing and selling are completely independent. We have one in Germany and one in Poland. But now we are merging that into an European collection, and that will be presented to the market in January 2017. So you can expect from us that we are ready with the integration on January 2017, and then we have a fully integrated company, very powerful, very fast decision-making processes will be one of the major effects which I see, because we can speed up in our processes and strengthen the company forward.
Talking about the future, what investments are planned in the future and how much capex will be invested?
I would start with the last 3-4 years. In average, we are investing every year somewhere 50 million euro into the existing plants. The focus in the previous years were mainly on investments into maintenance, into productivity improvements, and into cost reduction. So I can say that our plants now in a very competitive shape, very productive, and that means now the new investments into the future will be more focusing on new technologies, new innovations. Also the capex extension is important, because actually we are fully loaded. The capacities are fully booked, all the plants are running on 100%, and therefore we need more capacity, but also new products and new innovations. That's exactly the area where we are focusing on. And I will give you 2-3 examples. One example out of the past was an investment here in Wieruszów. We replaced the gas which we used to heat our plant by a biomass boiler. That was an investment into the plant with a payback of 3 years almost, and that brings us a saving of 4 million Polish zloty a year. So that is an example where we could reduce cost in the plant. But now we are investing into a new machine which creates added value products. It's a new worktop line where we can produce beautiful, fashionable kitchen worktops, for example. And also we are investing into added value products and machines in Grajewo to make sophisticated, customized products. Because this market in Europe, as well here especially in Poland, is so dynamic towards the added value sector. You are investing into hospitals, into shops, into beautiful new design and decorated furniture, where the market is really asking for high sophisticated products, and that needs different technologies. That's the reason why we are now investing into growth and innovation.
So how much of your production is exported? And how do you hedge against the currency risk?
Two difficult questions. Now, first question is very easy. We are focusing on Europe, and more than 80% of our sales and our revenue is sold to Poland, to Austria, Switzerland, Germany, Netherlands, and the UK. And the rest goes even also belongs to Europe, but more in a wider area into Spain, into the Baltic states, and also southern part. Only 1% of our revenue is exported outside of Europe, so that means we are a European player. That's what we want to be, and we see good potential to grow further in that sector. We have a natural hedging inside the company because we are invoicing only 50% of our revenue in Polish zloty. But on the other side, we buy our materials in Poland, Polish zloty. So therefore, there is an internal balance between our FX rate in sales as well as in the material. So it's in balance.
What are the biggest risk factors for the company?
I think that in general, we can say that the overall economical situation worldwide is somewhere always a risk, but that is a statement or a risk for any kind of industry. If something happened like 2009, we have to manage it. The good thing is that we know how to manage, because we proved that we are able to overcome those periods of times. So therefore, what I always say is we cannot change the world, yeah, but we can do everything to make us, ourselves and our company better. So we are focusing, therefore, on our permanent improvement program in the company. Actually, we have one challenge to manage. This is the cheap import we get from the Ukraine and from Russia into Poland. And I would expect, as long as the Russian crisis is ongoing, we have to manage this cheap imports. But there is one major aspect which helps us, because the integration of Pfleiderer into one organization brings us a much wider area and a very powerful sales force now, where we can sell our stuff. So that means if we come somewhere under pressure by cheaper prices, we sell our products in areas, yeah, with high prices where we are also established. We have a sales office in England, we have a sales office in Switzerland, in the Netherlands, in France, so we can widening our business towards Europe, and that's the way how we are managing it.
So after that radical change, the investor asking about the financial results in 2016 and 2017.
Yeah, I think the performance of the company has already proven a very, very good result in 2015. EBITDA is up to 132 million. That is a percentage of more than 13%. And based on that, I gave already a guidance to the market that we expect this year, 2016, a further growth of a lower double-digit increase. Also for 2017, we have measures in place where we believe that we can even further increase our EBITDA towards 17.
Do you plan to distribute the profits among the shareholders, and what is the dividend policy?
Yeah, Pfleiderer is in a business which is a very stable business. This is not a very fast-growing market, not a very dynamic market if you compare this with other industries. But this is a big advantage for shareholders because this business generates really a very strong cash. So based on this cash, company is able to invest, but also on the other side to provide also dividends. So therefore we recommend, first time since 2008 now, after the integration, to pay a dividend of 1 Polish zloty per share. And the OGM will happen at June 29th, and we will see whether the shareholders approve our recommendation. That's what we expect, of course. And the general dividend policy is that the company wants to deliver a dividend between 0 up to 70% of the net income. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and with our performance, also our plans, I would expect that we are able to pay dividends also in the future.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the conversation. My today's guest was the president of the Pfleiderer Group, Mr. Michael Wolff. Thank you.